Hello, and welcome to the Disability Support Services Workshop on Note-Taking Strategies. Thank you for joining us. We hope you find this information helpful in support of your academic journey at Cal State Fullerton. Today, we will go over the following learning objectives: why note-taking is important, what to do before, during, and after lecture, what should I focus on when taking notes, note-taking format strategies, and digital tools and applications. We would like to begin with discussing why taking notes in your courses is so important. There are many benefits to taking notes in class, including increasing your understanding of class information, supporting review for exams, improving focus and attention to detail, improving comprehension and recall, and helping to emphasize and organize information. Note-taking is a three-part process that includes what to accomplish before, during, and after each class lecture. Before a class lecture, it is important to skim upcoming required chapters and reference future assignments, review notes from the last class lecture to familiarize yourself with recent class material covered, review the class syllabus for what topics will be lectured on, ask your professor any questions you may have from past notes and required class readings, and finally, it can also be helpful to convert topics and key ideas from past notes and textbook readings into questions to practice answering during lecture. Taking notes during lecture is a fundamental part of retaining information and doing well in your courses. Prior to the professor beginning to lecture, it is helpful to set up your note-taking page with your preferred note-taking style. We recommend beginning a lecture with a new page each time and using a different notebook for each subject. Color-coded headings, subheadings, and key terms can also be very helpful note-taking tools to have key points stand out and organize important information. It is also highly encouraged to give special attention to details received in lecture that are not covered in the textbook, as this may be a hint to showing up on a future exam. Continuing with note-taking during lectures, it is suggested to sit near the front of the class to limit distractions, stay alert, actively listen, and be fully engaged. Using abbreviations, short phrases, and symbols when note-taking can be another helpful strategy, but be sure to have a list of your commonly used abbreviations available for reference as needed. Another recommended tip is showing calculations in boxed areas in the middle of the notes page, as this helps find calculations easily when reviewing notes. To conclude note-taking during your class lectures, it is encouraged to start a new paragraph when beginning each new concept, bullet points when adding extra information, and arrows to show examples of concepts are ways of representing additional information underneath each new concept. Lastly, after each lecture, it is important to ask questions if there is something you did not understand or if there was any information you may have missed. The final part of the three-part note-taking process is what note-taking steps to complete after each class lecture. Reviewing notes within 24 hours or during the same day and discussing notes with another classmate can be a few helpful strategies in getting the most from class notes taken. After each lecture, it is important to go through your class notes and add in any missing information not written down during the lecture. Using margins to add important information, examples, or details, and highlighting this information can also be a way of easily accessing key information when reviewing notes later. Additional tips for note-taking after class lectures include reviewing notes more than once and throughout the week, and reading notes aloud if helpful to your personal learning style. Lastly, when reviewing notes, create brief summaries surrounding the main ideas and concepts, and create questions to quiz yourself from your notes as part of reviewing for future exams. One key theme that has presented itself with note-taking support in college is not knowing what important key points to take notes on. Next, we will share a few ways to locate key information to pay attention to when taking notes and reviewing for exams. Important information to focus on when taking notes can occur in 4 places: headings, details, discussions, and problems or formulas for math and science courses. Headings, such as lecture topics and main ideas, are usually found at the beginning of paragraphs within the first few sentences explaining the subject, or at the end of a paragraph as a summary of the information discussed. Details include paying attention to any facts, themes, explanations, definitions, and anything repeated, emphasized, or spelled out as key information to be jotting down during class. Discussions, such as questions asked and responses given, are important to pay attention to, especially documenting what is said throughout class. Regarding math and science courses, document problems or formulas on the board and what your professor says about them directly next to each step. Also, document what part of the problem is done first, steps following after, and any tricky areas. Professors will provide hints through signal words on what should be written down when taking notes, as ways of foreshadowing what may be on future exams. Some of these words include, for example, a major development. The next thing we're going to talk about is, as a result, in summary, remember that, and so on and so forth. Next, we will briefly share 6 note-taking formats to put the information we have learned into practice. The first note-taking format we will review is the outline method. This method organizes information into a highly structured, logical manner, forming a skeleton of information from textbook chapters or lecture content. This format includes headings and bullet points to organize topics and additional subsequent notes. It begins with a main topic header, such as the title of a lecture, identified as Roman numeral 1. The next level below is the subtopic of Roman numeral 1, and the subtopic is traditionally labeled as number 1. Below the subtopic is a key point traditionally labeled as A. Each level is indented to the right about 5 spaces. This method allows you to easily see related points and their importance. This method also reduces the need to edit your notes later by design and allows for easily turning outline points into study questions. However, this method is not recommended for a fast-paced lecture style. Here are 2 images of the outline method as examples. The first image provides an outline sample with the first Roman numeral being the first main concept, and below is A with supporting idea 1 and B with supporting idea 2. This system is repeated for the Roman numerals 2 and 3 with additional main concepts. The second image is a more detailed example including a heading layout of your name, the date, the class topic, and class timeframe. Below, the layout begins with the main idea or subject. Below the main idea is the first support or idea. Below this are details and examples. And below the details and examples are letters A through E as supporting information. This is repeated down the page with additional support ideas under the original main idea or subject. Another note-taking format is the Cornell method. This is a very specific page setup beginning with writing the topic at the top of the page, including the date. Next, divide the page into 3 sections, including the following. Create a vertical line on the left side margin column known as the Q column. Create a horizontal margin line across the bottom of the page, about 5 lines from the bottom, known as the summary column. The remaining large area in the middle to right portion of the page is the note-taking column. During class, use the note-taking column to take notes in your preferred format. After class, review your notes, adding cue words or questions in the cue column left side margin for main points to refer back to when studying information related to each cue word. Also, use the summary column to create a brief summary of the lecture to use for quick review later. Benefits to using this note-taking option include keeping notes organized while emphasizing main ideas, and making notes easy to follow when referencing later. This method can be helpful for classes with lengthy readings, such as history or English courses. Here are 2 images of the Cornell method as examples. The first image provides a visual representation of how to create the layout of the Cornell method, with the cue column located on the left side margin. The cue column includes the most important information, headings, and topics. Next is the largest column, which is the notes column, located to the right of the cue column, and this includes recording lecture information in short sentences, creating questions based on the lecture to help clarify meanings, reveal relationships, and strengthen memory. The last section is the summary section at the bottom of the page. This section is used to summarize the notes taken in a few sentences to review later for exams. The second image is another demonstration of the Cornell method with a specific lecture topic example as a sample, including the cue column, notes column, and summary section, as previously described in the first image. Other helpful note-taking methods include mapping, boxing, charting, and the star sentences method. The mapping method is a visual representation of concepts and ideas. This is shown by diagramming information around a central idea or topic. The boxing method is grouping together all notes related to each other into a box, and each box having a different topic. More note-taking methods include the charting method, which uses columns to organize information. The page is divided into columns and labeled by category. This method is useful for lectures including facts and relationships between topics. Also, the star sentences method involves skimming the required reading and writing 1 to 2 sentences to summarize each paragraph. This can include adding extra details and relevant terms as bullet points under each set of sentences as needed. Here are 3 image samples of the charting method, boxing method, and mapping method. The charting method image is displayed in a standard table format with topic heading categories along the top row and along the left side. Additional information in response to these categories are provided under each column heading. The second image is a sample of the boxing method shown on an iPad tablet, with key points and additional support information in boxes organized down the page. The third image, for the mapping method, shows a colorful mind mapping guide with a key central concept in the middle and lines branching out from the middle concept. Subtopics and additional information branch out with lines connected to each subtopic. Listed here are many digital resource applications to be downloaded and used on computers or phones, and these are available on a variety of platforms, including Windows, Mac, iPhone, and Android. Many of these listed digital resource links are also available on our DSS website under Virtual Student Resources. Evernote allows you to type your notes directly in the app, scan your handwritten notes, attach photos of your professor's sketches, upload PDFs or videos, utilize mind mapping tools, and many other excellent tools to help you stay on task. You can also use it to organize documents, pictures, and web clips. Evernote is cloud-based, so you can sync it across all your devices. OneNote 2016. As a CSCF student, you have access to the Office 365 programs for free. Once you have an Office 365 account, you can download OneNote 2016 at no additional cost. OneNote 2016 allows you to capture audio that links with your typed notes, import slides, pictures, handouts, videos, and files, organize your notes in different notebooks, sync up your files to the cloud, and more. AudioNote is a notepad and voice recorder software program which allows you to capture audio recordings and link your typed notes with the audio. You can also take notes directly on PDF files or slides, customize fonts and colors, organize your subjects into different folders, sync your notes between devices, and more. This resource is available for iOS, Mac, Windows, and Android, and costs $15 to $20 as a one-time purchase. MicNote is a Google Chrome-based voice recorder and notepad web application which allows you to capture audio recordings and link your typed notes with the audio. Similar to AudioNote, you can also insert PDF or PowerPoint slides and images, customize fonts and colors, organize your subjects with different folders, sync between devices, and more. It is available to use in the Google Chrome web browser for Windows, Mac, and Android, and costs $15 as a one-time purchase. Google Voice Typing is a free voice dictation tool available in the Google Chrome web browser for Google Docs. Voice typing allows you to speak or dictate your documents instead of typing them. Rev Voice Recording is a free phone recording application available for iPhone or Android, allowing for editing of audio recordings, providing automatic syncing to Dropbox to backup recordings, as well as file sharing through Evernote and Slack. This application also provides transcription support for audio at a low cost with a 12-hour turnaround time. SoundNote is a program that tracks what you type and draw while recording audio. When playing back audio lectures, this program allows for tapping on a word and playing back audio said in that moment. SoundNote also allows for sharing any typed notes, drawings, and recorded audio notes via email or direct transfer to your computer, whether that is a Mac or a Windows. SuperNote Notes Recorder helps you create notes very rapidly through voice recordings and allows for adding photos. The notes are color-coded to find instantly, and you can change the note color or category as needed. You can take notes and photos while recording and pause and resume to add new recording sections to an existing recording. You can also transfer your notes to other people or to your computer using email, Wi-Fi, or Dropbox. Brainscape, spelled as BRAINSCAPE, is another flashcard support application available on iPhone and Android. It allows you to easily create flashcards, share them with friends, and sync them between all mobile devices. And finally, there is Notability, which combines handwriting, photos, and typing of notes in a single digital project tool. It even allows you to annotate and add to PDFs within this resource. It also allows for drawings and sketches to elaborate on written notes. In review of all the note-taking support information we discussed today, here are a few key points to remember. You do not have to write down every word during the lecture. Note-taking takes discipline, time management, and practice. Explore different methods and take notes your preferred way. And finally, taking good notes requires reading and reviewing assignments before class, listening, evaluating, and recording information during class, and making time to review, reflect on, and discuss notes after class. We have also provided a note-taking resource video on how to take great notes, uploaded on our DSS website with this training. We highly encourage reviewing this resource video and practicing strategies we reviewed today. We would like to thank you for attending our workshop today. Please contact Disability Support Services with any questions regarding this workshop at 657-278-3112 or by email at dsservices@fullerton.edu. For more information regarding support options through Disability Support Services, please visit our website at fullerton.edu/DSS.